Hello again to you all. This is my last episode before Christmas. Here I am at Anglesey Abbey. It's a National Trust property, not very far away from where I live. My wife and I have been coming here since our girls were babies. Our eldest daughter had her wedding reception in the grounds here, so it's a place we like very much, and we've been coming here really most weeks during lockdown. So I've seen it through spring, high summer, glorious autumn colours, and now winter. But winter's got its own beauty, I think, and it's a lovely place if you're in the area, want to visit it. I can thoroughly recommend it, Anglesey Abbey. So anyway, my last thoughts before the end of 2020, well, what a year it's been, but I end it with a sense of optimism, I think, in this regard. First of all, we've seen the end of President Trump and the start of Joe Biden taking a much more responsible and responsive approach towards climate change. I think we can already see that in terms of some of the appointments that he's made at senior level within his forthcoming administration. And I think that augurs well, really, for getting near to the Paris targets. We can see already projections which show that Biden has made quite a difference to the probability of getting there, and the pledges put in at the summit that occurred earlier in December, particularly I think by China, of zero carbon by 2060. I mean, that seems a long way off, but hey, they've got a lot to do. That demonstrates that perhaps there is a fighting chance, which we wouldn't have thought necessarily last year, of getting towards that target. We've also got now the energy white paper from our government. I foreshadowed that in a talk I gave a few weeks ago now on Boris's 10-point plan. There's not really much in the white paper that wasn't in the 10-point plan. I applaud the level of ambition. I think that's terrific. But if I've got one criticism of it, it is that it's a very disparate document. It's a real smorgasbord of aspiration, isn't it? There's all sorts of things in there, like creating new fusion reactors at commercial scale by 2040, which, one has fingers crossed very firmly for that happening. But there does need to be, I think, if we're going to get to where we need to get, a laser-like focus by government and a sort of relentlessness, a willingness not to draw back in the face of opposition. So I'd like to see in the coming year focusing really hard on those issues that we do need to achieve to get where we need to get, which are first and foremost a reliable backup plan for intermittent electricity, with renewables generating so much more of it. And that, I think, at the moment can only really come from either nuclear or from carbon capture and storage. So, one is at a very experimental stage, the other is workable, but financing it is so difficult. So there needs to be a huge focus on that. And I think also straightforward things like getting infrastructure in place for the charging of electric vehicles so that people can take up new types of cars with confidence that the infrastructure is there to meet them. Those are the things the government have really got to focus on hard. And I think all of us have also got to play our part, haven't we? Life is going to be, I think, quite different if we are going to move towards net zero. I think what I've come to realise, perhaps during this year, is that what we regarded as normal last year probably in the whole scheme of things wasn't all that normal. It certainly wouldn't have been regarded as normal by my parents or grandparents to have the ability to hop on a plane at a moment's notice and fly to somewhere in the world cheaply, or to take regular foreign holidays, or to simply amass and accumulate the amount of belongings that we all have these days. So I think we can all move, hopefully, supporting each other towards living much more simply, still happily, but much more simply and much more kindly to the planet. That is my hope. I think we've shown that when we need to, we can change how we behave this year. Let's hope we can do it for the good of the planet as well as for the good of our own public health. And so finally, a bit of personal news. This year I've acquired 2 new grandchildren. So Oliver was born back in May, and I'm delighted to say that little Holly was born yesterday, doing very well, and I'm hopeful that as they grow up and as they become adults in due course, the progress will have come forward a very long way in terms of protecting the environment and combating global warming. That's my hope. I think there's a fighting chance of it, as I say. So I leave you with that. I wish you all an extremely happy Christmas, a healthy and safe Christmas too, and all the very best for 2021, whatever that holds for us. We can all, as environmental lawyers, play our own part in helping to safeguard the wonderful environment that we happen to live in. So goodbye to you all. I hope to see you again next year, and in the meantime,